Hi, this is Steffen Schmidt. I wanted to um, talk a little bit about Iowa's sort of political culture. You know, in our book, we talk a lot about basic principles, values that Americans have, and I wanted to talk a little bit about a discussion that's been going on regarding Iowa. In particular, I'd like to call your attention to my friend and colleague Tom Rice's work on basically what is called civic culture. Civic culture goes back to a study that was done in Europe and then later a much larger study of other countries in which an effort was made to kind of establish some basic principles of how different societies, how different cultural groups view themselves and view their relationship with each other and view the values of political interaction. And in particular, what Tom Rice talks about is um, the basic principle of civic citizens, which is they trust each other, they are tolerant of a wide range of ideas and lifestyles, they pay attention to public issues, they get involved in community affairs, they treat each other as equals, and join a variety of social, political, and religious groups. And civic citizens care about one another and about the community that they live in. So that is a kind of a definition of sort of, let's call it active citizens who really participate in their community life and view it as a personal responsibility to help make their society, in this case back here, the state of Iowa, and their particular towns and counties, better places to live in. And in order to determine civic culture, Rice used a methodology that involved collecting a lot of statistics, measuring four characteristics of civic engagement. Those four characteristics are the ones that are always used. They are civic engagement, participation, political equality, solidarity. In other words, everybody feels responsible and pulling together for the community and the state, and social structures of cooperation. The statistics were then run, and basically Rice and others came up with these civic culture rankings or ratings. And what was found is very interesting, and it's still being discussed, and there's some follow-up research that's being done. They basically found that a series of northern tier states, which include Vermont, Massachusetts, Wyoming, Maine, and North Dakota, rated the highest in these particular characteristics. And many of the southern states, Mississippi, Louisiana, South Carolina, and Georgia, were actually very low in the scale of civic engagement, civic participation. There are a lot of different reasons for it. It has to do with the economic structures. The Midwest and the upper tier of states tend to have less economic inequality in the state than southern states. They didn't have slavery. There was a tradition of certain types of religious backgrounds that rewarded and encouraged participation in the community, getting together to improve the community and so on, whereas in some other states, those values are more dissipated and not as strong. And what they also found, which may be of interest to you, and it certainly is interesting to me, is that states with stronger civic cultures, such as Iowa, also have a better government performance. In other words, in those states, the state government, county, local governments actually perform better. They produce more output. They are closer to the community and have greater accountability. And government just works better in those states. So I thought I'd share that with you because that is something that in Iowa we are intrigued with, we are fascinated with, and if we can continue this tradition of collaboration and participation and of civic engagement, we think the state will continue to be a wonderful place to be. So that is my sort of opening shot for you, and I hope you enjoy some of the other discussions that we will have both in writing and on video regarding American government and politics, and the state of Iowa in particular as a tie-in to the discussion of national politics. See you later.